Hey guys, welcome back to Birdnest Farms. In this week's video, we're going to be checking each of the splits that we created for eggs. So what we did when we created the split, we allowed the bees to create their own queen, for that queen to emerge, fly off and get mated and come back to the hive. So by looking in the hive to see if they have eggs, we know that we've been successful in that split. So we want to do that. We also want to check to make sure that we don't have any pest pressure going on. And the third thing that we want to check for is to make sure that they have enough room. So if we need to add a honey super or if we need to add another deep to these colonies, we want to make sure that we're staying ahead of it and giving them plenty of room. So I hope we've got a good video today. I hope you enjoy it. If you do enjoy it, please hit the like button. As long as it's fun for us and entertaining for you, we'll continue to make these videos. So let's jump into it. Alright, so this was Savanna's hive. If you recall, we did not capture that first swarm, a pretty big swarm. Did not stay, so we went after that little tiny swarm. And let's take a look to see. I'm going to try not to use any smoke because I really don't want to interfere with anything, and hopefully they'll be nice to me. Lots of vibration there. That'll make them angry. So I see a lot of bees in here. That's good, or about the same size. They are jumping at me, but I'm going to try not to smoke them. Let's just be super gentle. Just try to jump on in to where I see how the bees are kind of balled right here. That's my key. That's my indication that that's likely where the queen is. If she's laying brood, that's where the majority of the bees are going to be to keep them warm and tend to the queen. So what I'm seeing here is lots of eggs on the bottom and different stage larvae. So I don't know how well you can see that, but there are eggs everywhere. Lots of eggs, different stages of larvae. As you get to the center, the larva gets a little bit older. As you go further out, you can see the larva gets smaller and smaller until you have eggs. So awesome. We got a queen that's laying. She's got plenty of room in here. So we'll put that back together. This side's also totally full. Completely full. A brood, some cat brood there. So looking good. We'll put this one back together. No need to add a deep at this time, second deep, because she's really only on 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 frames at the most. So she's got plenty of room to lay. Try to put this back together as gently as we can. Congratulations, Savanna. You got a laying queen. Hopefully in the next few weeks she will continue to grow, and we'll be adding our second deep to this hive. Okay, we're over at Brianna's hive. If I remember right, we took queen cup from one of our honey production hives and put it in this hive. And we'll jump in here and see if we were actually successful in rearing a new queen from this hive. So I'm gonna give them a little smoke. Jump on in. I do not see any hive beetles or a queen on the lid, so I'll just jump on in, see if I can find the frame that we donated from the honey production hive. So it's filled with honey all the way across here. So at the very least, we're going to have to give these guys another deep. Jump on in. Sometimes I'll mark the hive, the actual frame itself, which frame it was. The other day I did not have a marker with me, so would have made things a lot easier. Okay. So I see larvae, different stages here. And I see eggs at the very bottom. So here's our queen cells here. So there was a queen cell there. There's a queen cell there and a queen cell there. You can see that they've been opened. And in the very bottom, down there, you should be able to see eggs. So let me spin this around. So down there in the very bottom, see all the little white specks? That is eggs. So again, here's your queen cells that are opened. One there, one there. And eggs at the bottom. Different stages of larvae. You can see down there at the bottom. Different stages. Those are a little older than those right there. And then you can see eggs down there at the bottom. So this is a queen right hive. So let me put this one back together, and we'll do the same with this one. Move it over to the new bee yard and give it another deep. We want to keep them 2 deep here. I know in the south you can run them single deeps and then put honey supers on top of them, but that's just not my preference. I prefer to put them 2 deeps and then honey supers. So lots of propolis here. So we're buttoning this one back up, and we'll check on the hive that we used to donate to this one from the honey production hive that we used to donate to this one. So it's always a good feeling to lay the brick flat. Lets us know that we have a good hive here. So Brianna's hive is looking good. Okay, I believe this is Alexander's hive. I'll check it in a second. I've got some name tags that I made for them. We don't have to try to remember whose is whose. I can just label it. So I'm going to go ahead and smoke these guys a little bit, and I'll get started. So our brick here indicates that probably we had queen cells here on this one. So let's jump into it and see where we're at with that. Give them smoke, give them a few minutes. Okay, we'll jump right in. Alright, I don't see any hive beetles. That's another thing that I'm looking for on these inner covers, is I'm always looking for hive beetles or anything type of ant pressure. Also looking for the queen, of course, but it's mostly what I'm looking for. So again, there's some burr comb here on the top, so I'm going to assume that these guys are in need of some additional room. Seeing lots of drones right off the bat. Just smashed a drone. Seeing lots of drones. So I've got at least one frame here that they can build out on. I'll go straight into where I believe the brood chamber is. Again, our goal is to see eggs. This frame is really heavy, which tells me it's got a lot of honey on it, or pollen. Okay, so in the bottom of these cells here, I'm seeing eggs. So on the bottom of these cells, very bottom, I'll try to point it out if I can in the video. Let's see. Down there on the bottom, you can see that there are eggs. They should be glowing at you. And this is absolutely full. So all the way from where the bees are, all the way around to the bee bread on the bottom. It's absolutely full of eggs. So again, another queen right hive. Be careful with the bird comb as I put it in. Okay. You see how I moved real quick right there and the bees jumped at me? Remember, I say all the time that bees do not like vibration and sudden movements. So if I take my hand and I move over nice and slow, you see how none of the bees jumped at me? Whereas if I take my hand and I move it quickly across it, the bees will jump. You see them jump on my hands? They do not like that movement. And I've got them agitated now, so a little bit more smoke and I'll put them back together. This one's also going to need another deep. So what I'm going to do is probably going to come really early in the morning and start just moving all these back to the new bee yard where they're supposed to be. And then add supers to them. I'll probably add supers to them, then move them, just in case I can't get here in time. I don't want them to swarm on me. So we're going to lay this one flat, letting us know that we've got a good hive here. All right, we're set up on Michael's hive now. So Michael's hive, if I remember right, was looking pretty good. We'll move all this comb that we scraped off. Give Michael's hive a little smoke. Let's give him just a minute. Looking good. Very strong hive here. Alright, let's jump on in. Oops, sorry, smashed a bee. Again, this is propolized really well. Looking for the queen. I don't see any queen. Got some burr comb that they've, get out of there, yeah. Some burr comb that they've started on here, so we may need to add some space for these bees as well. Again, our mission today is really just to find eggs that'll tell us that we're in good shape. And then we'll need to add, again, on this one a deep, because there's only one deep here, so I'll add a secondary deep for these guys. So this is honey filled out all the way to the end there. Oops. On both sides. We've got honey all the way, both sides here. So these guys definitely need more room. Alright, let's jump into the brood chamber. See how that looks. This hive seems a whole lot more calm than the previous hive. Wow, look at this pattern. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but see, almost all of these cells are filled with brood, with cap brood. That's a really good pattern. What you don't want is spotty a spotty pattern. So this queen is a really good quality queen. Look at this. This entire piece here is filled with brood. So that is just incredible. It's a really good queen here. Drone here at the bottom. So let's just move a little bit further, being very careful here because of this burr comb on the top. I really should have removed that first. So alright. So the reason I don't want to remove the burr comb is so that I don't roll the bees, which is like smashing them in between the two frames. So if you notice when we pull the frames out, we're extremely careful. On here we've got a lot of brood here, larvae in there as well. A lot of bee bread in this section of the outside here. Okay, so I see eggs down in this section here. So we've got some capped brood, capped honey here, and then I see some eggs down in this corner here. So that's what we wanted to see. I'll put this one back nice and carefully. Oops, that's what you don't want to do. So you see I just dropped it, and look at the attitude of the bees, how they kind of changed a little bit. They do not like the vibrations and sudden movement, so let me give them a little smoke, calm them back down. I'll go ahead and put this one back together, and I will get these guys another deep. Alright, we're going to do a quick check on this hive here. So I'm showing that we've got some good history here. Just going to jump in real quick. Give them a second with the smoke. A lot of propolis on here, you see. They built up the propolis around where the telescoping inner cover was. So that's interesting. Still a little early this morning, so maybe a bit grouchy. Oops. Checking on the inner cover, make sure we don't see a queen. See drones. There, so this week we want to see a queen or some eggs in here. This super looks like it's full of comb. So this definitely needs a super. This is one of the splits that we made. In our rule here, if we see open drone brood, which we see here, we want to take a look at it and make sure there's no varroa, which we don't see any varroa here. So I'm just going to jump on in to the center here and see if I can find any queens, or a queen or eggs, which is more ideal. I'd rather see eggs than a queen. Yeah, this is a packed colony. So looking on this frame, we see lots of honey, uncapped honey all the way across it. So on both sides, really. So we definitely need to, it's past time to add a honey super here. Again, giving them lots of smoke because it's early and they are agitated. Straight into the brood chamber here, and when I see a lot of capped brood, some young larvae here as well. On this side, I see eggs in the very bottom of the frames down there. Also, something interesting here is we've got a queen cell here that's been opened. So, see the queen cell? See how the bottom is open? It's been cut out. So she chewed her way out. So she must have flown off, been mated, and came back to this hive. So we've seen what we wanted to see here, which was eggs. That was the most important thing. So this hive we'll put back together and move on. We'll give it a passing mark, and we'll also add some a honey super to it. And then once we've done that, we can come early one morning and move it to the new bee yard. All right, so we moved over to the new bee yard now, and this is William's hive, and his started off from a swarm that we caught. So we're going to jump into William's hive real quick and see if we've got eggs and a queen and all that good stuff. So we moved it last week from where we had captured that swarm at to here. So there should have been plenty of time for the queen to decide what she's going to do. Okay, she's got a little bit of ant pressure here on the lid. A little bit of black ants, so we'll just have to keep an eye on that as we move forward here. And propylize the lid down really strong here. Just try not to make as few vibrations as possible. They've already got some burr comb that they've got going here and here, so we'll have to scrape that off in just a minute. Looks like they filled the burr comb up with honey already, so that means we probably need another deep on here. These bees are being really calm this morning. Oh yeah, I'm seeing brood already in the center frames, the brood chamber. So let me just give us some room here to work. So we got capped honey all the way over here with some intermittent bee bread, which is a little different. Same here, uncapped honey. Lots of bee bread. Just put that there. Give us some room to jump into the brood chamber. Oops. Yeah, propylize these frames really good already. Did have a couple of cold mornings. All right, let's see what we got here. Yeah, so I see eggs down in the bottom. She definitely is running out of room to lay. Let me see if I can. It's got a lot of brood comb. See all the brood on the bottom, the drone brood on the bottom down there. But there are eggs in the center. Let's see if I can get a shot of it. It's going to be difficult with lighting. Let's see here. As soon as I put my big head in the way. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but down in the bottom of those cells, there are eggs. Very difficult to see because of the lighting, but down in those cells there are eggs. So that's what we wanted to see. So we'll put this one back together, and we definitely need to put another deep on this hive. Give them room to grow. So congratulations, William. Your hive is looking great, buddy. I'll just put it back together and add you a deep, and you'll be good to go, man. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for this week's episode. So remember our 3 objectives. We wanted to make sure that we had eggs in each of the splits that we created, and we were successful there. The second was we wanted to check our pest pressure. So we were really good there. I didn't see any hive beetles or wax moths or anything like that. And our third objective was to make sure that we're staying ahead of the space for the bees. So our honey flow is on right now. And as you can see, we've added honey supers to a few of our production colonies. So we want to make sure that we're keeping the bees plenty of room for them to put our honey in our hives. So thanks for watching our videos. As long as it's entertaining to you and fun for us, we'll keep making the videos. Please give us a like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching.